We remade an episode from 1994 and didn't change a thing. This is Corey, and this is the O The Anthem podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. Welcome to episode 276 of the O The Anthem podcast.
Yep, I believe that's true.
Coming to you from the hashtag OTA LA Studios, high above the 110 freeway in downtown Los Angeles, California. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for listening on your podcatcher of choice. The easiest way to find it is anchor.fm/O The Anthem. It'll direct you to whatever podcatcher you use. We're pretty much everywhere. I haven't heard of a single platform where we're not available, so onus is on you to find us from there.
Of course, yeah. And, of course, you can find us at Twitter and Instagram at O The Anthem. You're watching us right now at facebook.com/O The Anthem. All the videos are available at youtube.com/O The Anthem. And everything, including the merch store with brand new merch available, is available at otheanthem.com.
Yes, indeed.
Now, of course, today is an auspicious day, Corey. I don't know if you remember that. Today we are making history, if you will.
Is it Bobby Bonilla Day and we forgot all over again?
No. We got another year for that. But today we are making one small step for a podcast and one giant leap for all podcast kind.
Okay.
No, it's the 50th anniversary of the moon landing today.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody remembers.
I've seen a lot of talk about it. I thought there was something else that was coming after that. I thought you were going to make some sort of Space Force.
Oh, well, yeah. We also just watched the My Cartoon President episode with Space Force, and that show's getting a little cartoony. It's
it's a little much.
It's a little much. It's like, listen, this presidency is crazy enough. We don't need to go off the edge. It's doing enough crazy shit. We don't actually need more, I think.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's not even on our topic list for today. I just remembered as we were about to start, like, hey, it's 50th anniversary of Apollo 11. Neil Armstrong, R.I.P., Buzz Aldrin.
I saw a great tweet. I can't remember who sent it, but it was if Stanley Kubrick actually was responsible for faking the moon landing, then Neil Armstrong would have gotten his line right.
Yep, yeah. It's how do you know the moon landing was actually real? Yeah, because Neil Armstrong wouldn't have blown his line on the way down. But it's. Yeah, we had an active discussion at work this week about whether or not the moon landing was actually faked or whether it was real, and I think that the end result is the people who work for me are really dumb. So these are the same people that I had discussions with about flat Earth, and there are genuinely 2 flat earthers who work at my office, and I don't know what to do about that.
It's unbelievable to me that some people still feel that way. I just don't even know what you would say to these. It's like everything is an illusion, basically. That's their...
Yeah, well, and I am of the belief that the universe is a 2-dimensional projection in 3-dimensional space, and me, Elon Musk, and several other very smart people. But,
good group.
But yeah,
Good group.
It's an elite group of people, if you will. But inside that illusion, or the projection, I suppose, Earth is round, and we did go to the moon. And if you and I were to go outside tonight, we could bounce a laser off the moon, a mirror that Alan Shepard put up on Apollo 15, and have it bounce back at our feet. So I don't know how that would be possible unless we went to the moon.
Unless there's somebody up in the sky constantly waiting for somebody to shoot laser. Like, where'd it come from? L.A.?
Or
this will freak them out.
Or Space Force, yeah. There's just satellites up there reflecting stuff back. Could be that too. Yeah, I suppose.
Or aliens are doing it. Have we ruled out aliens?
I guess, yeah, we haven't ruled out aliens.
They're going to fire on us. We're going to fire on them. Pew-pew!
They're just very weak aliens.
Yeah,
They're firing
very weak lasers.
Red laser pointer back at us. And we're like, oh, look at that. I came back. Yeah.
That's their version of like a taser.
Yeah.
Like in their society, that tases somebody. In ours, it's just like a little light, and we're just like, oh.
Here's the thing, too. It's super weird. If you have a powerful enough laser...
That must have come off the moon.
If you have a powerful enough laser, when you turn it on, you actually wait. There's like a pause.
Yeah.
Because, again, light travels at 186,000 feet per second, and the moon... Or miles per second. Meters per second? It's something. It's a lot. It's very fast. But the moon is very far away, and it's an object that we can bounce things off of and get back. So it's the thing where if you aim it correctly and you turn it on, then there's like a 2-second pause before you see it on the ground.
Yeah.
And that just shows the speed of light. And if the sun blows up...
The latency of light.
Yeah. If sun blows up, we won't know about it for 8 minutes. There's that too. It's all sorts of exciting stuff. All that and more coming up on Rob Explains Everything. Oh, I found out this week, by the way, Google has $1 billion reserve that they are giving away for educational videos on YouTube.
Really?
So if creators can make researched educational videos that people can go to in an effort to, by the way, fight the fake news and flat earth videos and everything, they're going to start sponsoring creators and giving away this $1 billion. And in return to that, what I said is, Rob Explains Everything coming very soon. New videos. We are going to get to work on that, YouTube. I don't know if you've seen my unlisted video.
Just make a $1 billion donation to the Rob Benevolent Fund.
I'd be happy. We'll make it out to listen. I want to make sure that this donation goes to the right place. I want to give it to my favorite charity, Catholic All Saints Hospital. And that's
just
probably
use the acronym.
Just use the acronym. Toss it on the check. Send it my way. I'll make sure it gets there. I'm sure it'll be fine. So it's a tax deductible.
Jack Donaghy, you're not gonna make a fool out of me.
Well, in more legitimate news, I know that this must be one of the most exciting weekends that you've had in a long time.
Yes.
Well, one, you're not working. That's certainly exciting.
That makes it a free weekend.
Yes.
When you're working and everyone else is having fun, it's just like, we're gonna go to Napa this weekend. I'm just like,
me too. But I'll be standing out in the 110-degree heat and holding a boom pole. So sorry about that. But yeah, no. Tonight, I don't even know if you talked about it this week on social media at all, but tonight...
well, we talked about it last week. We got the China...
No, you didn't talk about this.
What?
I didn't find out this till after we were done, and we were talking about scheduling, and I actually said, why didn't you talk about this?
Yeah.
So there you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael and Michael Are Gay, which was a web series I worked on, got into Outfest, which is happening in Hollywood this weekend. And their screening is tonight, and it's at the historic Chinese Theater, formerly Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yes.
Where many... incredible red carpet events have happened throughout the course of Hollywood history. It's like
Grauman, infamous racist. That's why he called it the Chinese, after all.
Is it?
No. It would look like a Chinese theater. That's why he called it that.
I know. I mean, Chinese theater design is like one of the staples, along with Egyptian, which is he also has. A Grauman's Egyptian.
See? Racist. Right there. Anyway, no, but you have...
Like you walk in, it's just like China people go home, and you're just like, oh, maybe he is racist.
Maybe he's actually racist. I didn't realize. It's right there on the foundation. Very confusing.
The person who works there is just like, yeah, he was a really bad racist. I'm just like, I didn't even know. It's just like...
To be fair, though, he built it in 1912.
Why do you think we had to change the name?
He built it in 1912. It was like...
To a Chinese company. We had to sell it to a Chinese company to make this right.
To be fair, he built it in like 1912, so it's that colloquial racism where it's like, well, everybody was a little racist.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's totally fine.
Rooney had to play that Chinese role. There was nobody else who could do it.
Yeah, listen, it's not like Trump racism. That's a whole different bag. We know better now, and he just doesn't care.
Yeah. But yeah, so red carpet tonight at the Chinese, and looking forward to that and seeing the Michael and Michael crew, and then going out later and having some drinks, I guess. Mm-hmm. And yeah, a lot of fun. It's just whenever you can like put yourself in the same conversation as like Bogart or something like that, or Chaplin, or like any of the luminaries who have walked a red carpet at that. It's just like when we go prior to the Oscars, when they're still setting up, but they have the red carpet down, and you can walk the red carpet of the Oscars. Right. It's like this cool little like in 72 hours time.
Yep. Here's what I predict.
Tarantino will be on these steps.
Here's what I predict. Now that you've done that, it's like touching the Stanley Cup.
Oh no, I can't do it again.
Now you'll never touch it for yourself again.
See, but I earned it. That's part of the thing of the you don't touch the Stanley Cup until you've won it.
Right. Yeah.
So I was part of the team.
No, but you
made the.
You walked the red carpet. You walked the Oscar red carpet, and now you'll never go on your own.
Oh well.
Although, I mean, they need seat fillers every year, so I mean, I suppose you could do that.
As long as I don't walk the Independent Spirit Awards red carpet, that's probably where I'm gonna end up being more often than not.
Probably so, yeah. But so red carpet tonight.
Get over to the Indie Spirits with Waikiki.
It's the red carpet tonight, very exciting. But and of course that's why we're recording early. For those of you who are watching live, facebook.com/O The Anthem. We're recording it on nearly 2 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 5
Eastern. Wow,
ridiculously early. But also
it's like a day game.
I know, right? Like some business and special over here. But more exciting things happening tomorrow.
Yeah,
and that's why we are also recording today, rather
as
than
opposed to Sunday. Because then also I'm going to be in Phoenix on Monday.
Oh,
so
that's
we
right.
Can't record then.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go see AJ at Chase Field. And And I guess the Orioles will be there too. So
There will be the Baltimore Sports Club will be fielding a team of some variety.
I'm just gonna be there cheering Adam Jones.
Oh, didn't they win like 11-2 the other day?
Yeah,
Like,
but then I think they lost 2-11 today. So it's like
what is this team? I don't understand.
3 words: World Series tickets.
I do love that there is an account that just every time they win, like all 26 wins so far this year, it's just been like, I don't know about you guys, this team's turning it around right now. We're gonna go on an incredible win streak.
Well, what's
Let's
great about baseball is that like a team can be like can have struggles and then turn it around.
The Rockies a couple years ago.
Yeah. Well, the Giants specifically now they were
yeah.
like 14 games under 500, like going into like May or something like that, and now they're 500 again.
Yeah.
And they just won 7 straight, and like it's like like people are going like, well, I don't know, maybe the Giants can actually still pull this off. Yeah. But like the Orioles at this point, I think would have to win like 30 games in a row.
All of them. They need to win every game that's left.
So don't think the chances are good, but a little West Coast swing. The Orioles traditionally have done terrible on the West Coast.
But instead
maybe
of
we can buck some trends here, and
instead of leaving for Phoenix early, you have other plans on Sunday.
Yes, I have procured tickets for The Lion King at the Alamo Drafthouse for its opening weekend.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Where are these tickets for?
At the Alamo Drafthouse, downtown Los Angeles. Yeah, much discussed on this podcast over the last 3 years. It was supposed to open 4 years ago, by the way, just as a reminder. I read an article, though, in the LA Times where Tim League, the founder of Alamo, was, like, talking about it. He's just like, yeah, so, I mean, like, originally it was, like, there was a lot of problems with, like, financing of the actual, like, space.
Yeah.
And, like, when we were able to actually get in there and start, like, building.
Yeah.
And that kept getting moved back. But then about halfway through the process, when we were still waiting, we were just like, well, why don't we just redesign this whole thing? Why don't we just like take the time to like think about how we're gonna lay this out better? And then the last couple years of delays have been because Alamo decided to go a completely different way with the way they designed it.
Yeah,
and now it's finally ready. But yeah, so they're doing like preview screenings this weekend, basically, where they're like training the staff and making sure everyone's ready to go.
Yeah,
it's discounts on food, but not on tickets.
Wonder why. Okay, yeah.
But I'm gonna finally get to see it. It's a big moment.
Yeah,
I feel like downtown specifically needs this sort of thing.
Sure,
because it's not like a Regal where it's like this huge complex with hundreds of seats or thousands of seats. It's a much smaller, much more intimate thing, but like also a place for like, your art house indies and stuff like that. And like events. I think this would be a great event space as well. So
yeah, and I'm looking forward to your experience because of course there'll be a new video up on Corey Baker Filmmaker this week. And Corey does talk about the theaters that he sees the movies in, not just the films themselves. And I'm looking forward to this because much like a still virginal 21-year-old, I feel like you've been building this place up in your mind for the last 4 years, and you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. It's never going to be as good as you think it's going to be.
I'm gonna go there and I'm just gonna be like, this sucks.
Yes, basically.
Why was I so excited about this? This sucks.
Like, hey, listen, I came here early, I got prepared, and it's all over in 30 seconds. I don't even know what's going on.
My seat didn't recline enough. My burger was overcooked.
Yeah. There was somebody talking in the middle of it, but the staff doesn't know about the rules yet, and they didn't even kick them out.
They only showed 2 comical videos about how they kick out talkers. They didn't show 3.
Yes, that's you. That's you.
These are all going to be things I say in that voice too. I'm going to do that voice when I talk about it.
Sure. I'm excited.
Should that be my new like go-to?
Yeah, I think that's that should be your complainer voice right there. That's your complainer voice. I've heard that voice a lot. Anyway, so it's not so different from your regular voice, I think.
It's a little bit more grating.
So you're, obviously you're looking forward to Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
of course, I'm going to Phoenix where there's like 9 of them.
Yeah. The very next day, for 3 days.
Yeah.
And a little shout out to a friend of the show, Roberto, who bitched out on the sweetest deal possible to go to Phoenix. So, and advice for everyone.
So I guess let's throw this out open to the people who are listening to me.
Yeah.
I was planning to go to Phoenix anyway. So I said, I will cover all the costs that I was already planning on paying.
Yeah.
So I will drive out there.
Sure.
I will pay for the gas and tolls maybe on the way out there.
It's Arizona. There's no
Yeah, I didn't figure there would be.
To
but
be
who
fair, I mean,
knows?
California may charge you to escape, but I don't think that Arizona is going to charge you anything once you're there.
So tolls, gas, accommodations, and then even baseball tickets. So
Dude,
all you would have
sweeten
to
the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you would have to do is literally just be able to like feed yourself for 3 days.
Or don't eat.
Or
just
don't,
eat
yeah,
for
I
3
mean, like, you
days.
don't have to eat. I wasn't, I just figured you'd want to, but,
Hey, pack in your bag the food.
make some sandwiches before you leave.
Where did we go where somebody packed like a bag full of food to bring on the trip with us?
Was it Vegas?
I feel like it was
Yeah, I think it was a
when the
Vegas
whole
trip.
crew went to
Yeah.
Vegas, and then one bag was just food that nobody ate all weekend long.
It was a duffel bag full of
Yes.
snacks.
And
Yeah.
also alcohol. The alcohol did get drank, but nobody ate many of the snacks because we were in Vegas and we just ate out because that's what you do. So anyway, yeah,
I think the snacks were for the trip. It was just way too many snacks.
a duffel bag full of snacks that
Just
ended
in
up,
case we get hungry on the 5-hour drive.
it ended up in the back of the vehicle where no one could access it during the drive, and so super. Anyway, sweetheart deal. He didn't go, so yeah.
I guess it's just all me.
Everybody give some hatred to your favorite, or who he thinks he's the fan's favorite, I think.
Yeah.
So let him know. But so you'll be out until Wednesday. Game is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Business special on Wednesday.
Right, and then you're heading back right after that.
Yep.
So it's about an 8-hour trip to Phoenix. After the Businessman Special, you'll have your 8-hour trip back right until you hit LA, and then 8 hours from San Bernardino to downtown. So you're looking at 16 hours probably on that trip back.
Yeah.
But and through the high desert in summer. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a very, very good trip for you.
Yeah. I would like to leave for the Monday part in the night. I feel like I can do that where
Scream across the desert like a bat. Just fair enough.
just midnight, just rolling through.
Oh, here. You know what? I got an idea. Forget the car. Naruto run through the desert all the way to Phoenix. I think you could do it. Carrying a bag.
Like physically running.
Yeah. Do you know what a Naruto run is?
No.
That's where you sweep your arms back. You run so fast, you have no idea. Have you not heard about Naruto running?
No.
Oh, well, the reason it's in the news recently, because that is how they are going to storm Area 51.
Oh my god.
Yes. Naruto runners, commence. Let's go. So it's been in the news the last couple of weeks. We haven't talked about it because I knew from the beginning that it just had to be a joke.
Yeah, there was no way this was like a real thought by somebody, but okay.
The problem is, as many things do in the internet, it took off.
Yeah.
And now people
because there was a lot of people who heard it. It was like, why don't we do that?
Yes. And then so like there was the original joke and it was followed up by the meme jokes where it's like, yo, I'm about to go fuck me an alien. Like, this is going to be good. I'm going to get an interstellar girlfriend.
Yeah.
Made by a bunch of guys who can't get a human girlfriend. And somehow the alien is going to be the one that wants them. And my favorite part of this whole story, so memes, and then real people are like, yeah, why don't we go storm it? And then they get encouraged by the jokers to like, yeah, we absolutely should. Now there's like 1.5 million people saying that they're coming out to storm Area 51, and the whole theme is like, they can't stop all of us. And my favorite meme of this movement is stormers. They can't stop all of us. And then it's a Marine sitting at a minigun that fires 3,000 rounds per minute. And the caption is laughing at 3,000 rounds per minute. Because, you come streaming across the open desert, some salt flat.
Especially if everyone's doing like,
Yeah. Oh, I'm just going to wait till you get real close and then like.
See, but here's the problem. I feel like there's like the government doesn't have a huge success record of doing this well. Like, this is just going to end up being like Waco where like 3,000 people get murdered.
Here's the problem, though. There is no satellite overflies of Area 51. Mm-hmm. There's no cell service out at that part of the desert.
Yeah.
So It's theoretical that the next time that there's a commercial flight or a commercial flight over or a commercial satellite goes over, that all there is just red spots all through the desert. And the government spokesman's just like, yeah, it's weird. They came, we thought they were coming on that day and nobody showed up. And like, yeah, do you want to explain these freshly turned over sections right here? Like, weird. We were doing some construction. Yeah. What about the red out here? It rained a little bit, rust.
That's a
iron,
clay deposit.
Yeah, the iron and clay just got a little wet from the rain, and now it just it turns red on satellite.
It's weird how it happens.
Strange.
Nobody's seen Billy for a while. I don't think Billy really existed.
Are we sure that these aren't all Russian bots? I'm just saying, it could be Russian bots.
Anyway, you guys have been asking too many questions, so here come the men in black.
Yes.
Here come the men in black.
Everybody, if you'll point your attention right here for me.
Just everyone collectively look at this spot. No cheating. Everyone look.
Everybody look. Yeah, so, but no, my favorite part of this whole story is that there is a picture from a Pentagon briefing.
I just saw the part of me where I was dancing.
There's a picture from a Pentagon briefing.
Sometimes I feel like I'm Orson Welles. How serious I take this off.
Yeah, very much so. It's like radio theater. It's classic radio theater. We are telling the news here. But there's a picture out of a Pentagon briefing where there's a general who is sitting in serious contemplation. I mean, he's like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a gentleman at the front of the room, a full-grown adult male soldier.
Yeah.
High-ranking. Got a lot here. Got a lot of badges here. Mm-hmm. Got some gold up here.
Got some bars and stuff.
A couple of bars up here. A lot of like the flag stuff here. Mm-hmm. And the general, deep in contemplation, guy at the front of the room. He's showing him what a Naruto run is, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I am so glad that this has happened. I just can't. I'm like, you guys have made this an amazing thing, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for all of it.
I don't know what to. I mean, like, I feel like all the buildup of saying that we're gonna crash Area 51 has kind of like at this point, there's nothing there right now, right? Like,
yes, of course there is.
I mean, no, I mean, like, there's been a lot of discussion about how some of the most important artifacts that might be at Area 51 have already moved on to different locations.
Well, no, and so the reality is everything that people think is alien technology at Area 51, we know what some of that was. Mm-hmm. Like, this object came streaking over Area 51 and we saw it. Yeah, it was an SR-71 Blackbird. Travels at 3 times the speed of sound. Heats up so hot that as it takes off, it's leaking gasoline because the plates of the fuel tank actually have to get up to temperature because they seal together. It expands and seals when it gets up to speed. If they made it sealed, it would explode at temperature. So, they're like, this object, this triangle-shaped object came over and it wasn't making a sound. Yeah, you know what that was? Stealth bomber.
Yeah.
There's a stealth bomber they were designing there. So is there anything at Area 51? There absolutely is. The Skunk Works, where they design new futuristic planes that look nothing like what we would expect, like a triangle that flies.
Right.
Or the stealth attack fighter, the F-117, that doesn't make a sound as it flies over, which has got to be... By the way, if you're getting bombed by a stealth bomber or a F-117, imagine that it's in the daytime and you can see it, and there's this triangle-shaped object, and it goes overhead, and you're waiting for that delta, for it to come over, and then nothing, boom, you're dead.
Explosion. Yeah.
Like it is no sound and you're dead. So there is stuff there. Probably not aliens. Probably not any artifacts. It's just going to be. The reason they kill people when they try to come in is because they don't want, a Chinese spy to get in to take pictures of the plane that we're building so that the Chinese know.
Counter proposal for the U.S. government.
Yes.
Why don't we just on the, build it in? I'm sure there's a lot of space between the actual base and the gates at Area 51.
Yeah.
So maybe just funnel everyone to one entrance, and then just in that chasm between gate and
kill
and
zone.
plan.
No,
No.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Just build a little fake Area 51 with little aliens that clear get the people at Disney who do the Pirates of the Caribbean ride or something like that. Get some fake aliens singing "We're a small world after all" or something like that.
We're pirates on the moon. We're pirates on the moon. Yes.
aliens are here.
Yeah.
And then just have all the people go by and like, oh.
Oh my God.
And then they
So
leave
amazing.
because they didn't really want to storm Area 51. But now they're like pot committed.
Yes,
And then you
yeah.
gave them some sort of like, no, we saw the aliens dancing and doing the hula hoop. Like clearly we saw what Area 51 has to offer.
It was there. I don't know what to tell you guys.
And then the government could just be like, have a nice day. And everyone leaves and nobody has to die.
Okay. Yeah.
And then like, like all the people who are there, like all the influencers with their Instagrams, they could take pictures of themselves with an alien and just be like, Area 51 was the coolest pop-up ever.
I do think that this is fueled a lot by influencers.
Yeah.
Just wanting to get a picture.
It's just pop-up culture. It's
yeah.
fine.
Yep. But
You go to Saved by the Max, you take some pictures, you leave. It doesn't really matter. The dinner was
pay
good.
$27 for the average cheeseburger, just an average cheeseburger, $27 because we wanted to take.
I had
selfies.
chicken nuggets for dinner because I wanted to eat with Zach Morris.
Yeah, because I want to take a picture with a. By the way, you can't even tell it's me. I'm holding Mr. Belding's face in front of me, but that's why I paid $17 for chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
so thank you. Yeah, thanks, Saved by the Max. Actually, though, that was a lot.
It was a good time.
Here's what I'll say. I think that there is a chance, however, that 1.5 million people could storm Area 51 successfully. The problem is you don't tell the people you're coming. The number one thing you have is the element of surprise when this is happening. Maybe go to tour.
Which is why I'm saying, like, I doubt anything of worth is there. Like,
oh, I mean, that part is
if there
true.
was anything in Area
Yes.
51 at this point, the government has thought enough about, like, oh, maybe they might actually try and do this. So we should move all that shit.
You put it up in July or June, and you're like, September we do this. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's too much warning, guys.
Somebody's driving out with a station wagon with aliens in the back. Don't mind me, Jim. Just going to the dry cleaners.
Okay, enjoy those shirts.
Will do. Be back in 7 to 10 business days.
Yes, absolutely.
Off to Kentucky with the aliens.
Well, probably Ohio, because allegedly that's where they took the vehicles first. Right? Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio.
So how about that? How about it? We all say we're storming Area 51,
Go to right
and then
Patterson.
go to Patterson instead.
Yes.
Be like, we know you got that fucking alien.
Tony Anton Ellis has joined us and has commented, like the moon landing, which we talked about earlier, Tony. You came in a little late. Moon landing, not fake. But it's the anniversary today, so I'm glad that you're on the ball with that. Anyway, so don't storm Area 51. It's really stupid. You're going to get shot if you cross the border.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. Back to reality and real things that happen. The second Dem debate is coming up.
Yes.
And they did the lottery this week.
Yeah.
And I have to think that as they're pulling results, there's got to be somebody at CNN or at the Dem Party that is like, that first night, not looking great. Come on. Let's get a little something here. Come on. What do we got going on? Because the results were a little skewed.
To me, it
bit
seems
skewed.
like basically the same debate, only with like slightly different.
Yeah. Well, so one person's gone. Smallwood is out.
Swalwell.
Yeah. Smallwood. Swalwell. Yeah, because we know all of their names because it makes sense that they're presidential candidates. We should know who they are, right? Swalwell is out. And who is joining? There's somebody
Steve Bullock.
Steve Bullock's in.
The governor of Montana.
Yes, he's in. So
And part of the reason why it seems like he didn't qualify for the first debate was because he was like the last person to join the race and didn't have enough time to like build up
get the votes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. Corey's got the
lineup
got the
pulled
lineup
up here.
There's a lot of similarity in that first night. Night one, which is July
10th, 30th.
30th. There you go.
30th
Yeah.
and 31st.
Looking very similar for some reason. What commonality would you say those people have amongst themselves?
Well, they all appear to be white, but one of
Yes.
them also appears to have a little bit of Native American blood in her, so. What?
Listen.
She's the one who said it.
Listen. Our candidates don't have enough problems. You're going to tear them down too? Come on.
That was just a fun little jab. It's not.
Yes. So other than the 270th.
And one of them's named Beto, but he looks awfully Irish. I don't
Other than
necessarily understand what's going on here.
Other than the 270th of Elizabeth Warren and apparently the first name of Beto, everyone on night one, white as the driven snow.
I don't know. This John Hickenlooper guy, it might be a Jan.
Nope, definitely a John.
So Juan Hickenlooper?
He's got that white male pattern baldness, right? And that's definitely a white trait.
No, that's John Delaney.
Oh, that's the other John. Sorry. By the way,
Tim
there's
Ryan.
2 Johns on the same night.
Tim
That is
Ryan.
a white night.
Tim Ryan in his picture still looks like he was caught off guard.
wait, let me see.
Like right there. He's smiling.
like
He's
somebody
staring
said-
right at camera. But it literally looks like somebody was just like, hey, Tim, look over here. And he's like...
Now, I should say, to be fair, Bernie Sanders is on...
He would make... Tim Ryan would make a great president if there was some sort of like alien invasion or some other like really weird like occurrence. Like,
Yeah.
You remember when Bush was reading to... the elementary school students when the 9/11 attack was happening, and the first look he had was just sort of like, oh no, like he was trying to like convey the confidence, but like at the same time like his head came up and his eyes sort of like like dilated a little bit. He was just like, oh shit, like this is happening right now.
Well,
this
to be
is kind of
fair,
like Tim Ryan would be great if he was president and something like that happened, and then he had to like look up slowly with those dead beady eyes.
I got an alternative. Let's just make him an actor, and we'll put that in a movie sometime, so he's not actually president of the United States. And I should note, Bernie Sanders is on night one.
Yeah,
and he is Jewish. He would be the first Jewish president. So I suppose in a way
that we know of. No.
Well, I suppose in a way that makes it there makes some diversity.
Yeah.
Also, Buttigieg is on night one. He speaks a bunch of languages. That adds a little diversity. Beto kind of speaks Spanish, so
there's Marianne Williamson who
is crazy. So there's some diversity. Yeah, sure. But yeah, not looking very diverse night one. But then night two, and listen, they did a drawing, so it's not as if they made it this way.
Yeah.
But way more diverse night two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still only like 4 people though.
But it's all of them. I mean, it's all of the diverse
Yeah.
candidates. Julian Castro,
Cory Booker, Kamala Harris,
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
Well, Bill de Blasio, who's 1/4 idiot.
I mean, Andrew Yang, who probably falls in that category for multiple reasons.
Oh man, I just don't like. I don't necessarily understand what we're going to get from this debate that we didn't get the first time around. I almost kind of feel like they should have more of like a debate where it's just like people coming. You know when they had like the town hall debates where it's like O'Malley's going to get the first 20 minutes,
Yeah,
and then, or like the first 40 minutes is O'Malley, and then Sanders for 40, and then Hillary for 40, and it's just like people asking questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like if you're gonna have like this humongous clown car of people, why not just like make like it's like debate Saturday at CNN, and we're just gonna have like one huge town hall, and like the candidates just sort of like come in at random.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, here's Pete Buttigieg.
Or put them all up there, and we treat it like an old school heavyweight bout. There is no round limit. We are going to do rounds. They're each going to be at least 3 minutes before we cut to a commercial, and that's basically how long they have between commercials. And we're going to let citizens come in and out. So if you want to ask a question, get in line. And then it's like, hour 19 of debate number 2. We just lost Elizabeth Warren. To her credit, she went down right on stage. But, now she joins the other 7 candidates.
I've heard other people sort of discuss the idea of like a Royal Rumble style debate, which I think would be a lot of fun. Like as soon as you say something so stupid, you shouldn't be on the stage anymore.
Ding!
Like just like Anderson Cooper's got like the red button.
Yeah.
It's just like Julian Castro Julian Castro.
Joaquin Castro.
It's his twin brother. Julian Castro just threw Beto O'Rourke under the bus, so he is now eliminated, and then he just falls through the floor. And then every 2 minutes, we get like a new candidate like running into the debate.
Everybody's got a intro music.
We're gonna have Jim Ross there, like going like, "Oh my god, it's Tulsi Gabbard. She's coming in hot."
She steps out, downs the rest of her Jack and Coke, throws the glass down, and like runs toward the stage.
You get the sound of the glass shattering. Dun 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 dun.
Oh
Tulsi Gabbard.
The music comes out.
Stunner! Stone Cold Stunner!
The glass shatters. The music starts. Tulsi comes out, clinks the Jack Daniels together, pours both bottles into her mouth, throws them to the side, runs down to the stage. It'd be amazing. I will say, though,
The Undertaker's here!
I like my long term, like let it run until citizens run out of questions, because everyone will look haggard at the end of that debate.
Yeah.
Except for Pete Buttigieg, who'll still be sitting there perfectly coiffed, just like
smiling.
I had a good time with this debate, and everyone. There's literally a dead body on the stage. Somebody died from exhaustion. He's just like, it's when I was in Afghanistan.
Joe Biden has replaced himself with a cardboard cutout. He's like, I got places to be, champ.
So we're just going to let you guys at home know that we have eliminated Joe Biden. We're going to show you video from the commercial break. Here's Joe, not so subtly replacing himself with a cardboard cutout of himself. It does have a button on the back, and whenever anyone asks him a question, he has an assistant sneak out. Press that little button on the back.
We're not entirely sure, but we think Jay Inslee is wearing glasses that make it look like he's awake when he's actually asleep.
Yes.
Like Anderson Cooper sitting behind the table going like, does nobody want to debate?
Well, it gets a little bit bad, and Pete Buttigieg looks over at one of the other candidates and then looks at Anderson. Anderson just goes, finish him.
Done.
It just turns into a bloodbath. On the plus side, though, we'd come out with far fewer candidates than we went in, and that's really the goal. We want to get to less candidates. So, but I think you're right, though. Overall, this is just going to be a repeat of the first time. New people versus new people in some respect, but mostly a waste of our time.
Okay,
So.
I just had a dumb but possibly brilliant idea.
Those are the best guy.
It could go either way. So let's see. Let's flush it out a little bit and see. What if we had an invitational debate prior to the actual debate starting?
Okay.
So like, say it starts at 8 p.m. Right? Mm-hmm. We have an invitational debate for the kids at 6:30, and you just like have like hosted by like Jake Paul or something like that, right? And just have him like ask like stupid, embarrassing questions of the candidates.
Did you say Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Like YouTube Jake Paul?
Yeah, isn't that the idiot, the one who raps all the time and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, and he shot a
Did
video
the
of a
suicide
body.
follow?
Yeah,
that guy.
Yep.
Or who's another thing that see clearly I don't know anything because that's where my knowledge of the kids ends. Like, is there a better YouTuber that right now that?
No, I do think we just get Team 10 out there. It can be all of Team 10 asking questions. You don't know who Team 10 is, but that's
it could just be random YouTubers could just be the people who are asking questions, and then like just candidates who are up there.
Joe Biden, have you ever shot a firecracker out of your ass?
And then just watch the candidates like see who can react best to like stupid questions. Because I feel like if you have a candidate up there who's like Marianne Williamson, who's just like, that's a really interesting question. I have many answers for you about shooting firecrackers from your ass. And like we could just be like, you know what? You're actually taking this seriously. Get the fuck out. You're not allowed to run for president.
You say
like,
that?
All I want is like Bernie Sanders up there going like, what does this have to do with America?
You say that. I have concerns that the next day
Williamson
Williamson jumps to a 40% lead amongst millennials, and it's like millennials for some reason really finding a voice in Williamson, and we're
listen,
concerned.
I never thought about the firecracker in the ass debate before, but now that she brought it up, she made some pretty salient points.
Yeah, 50-year-olds are thinking, is this the president I want to have a beer with?
Tim
Millennials.
Ryan's like, I'll literally do it. Come on.
Somebody give me a firework.
Someone got a lighter. I'm not allowed to smoke anymore.
Oh man, yeah. I listen. I think the invitational idea is good.
The worst part is by making it invitational, you're just ensuring yourself all the candidates who aren't good enough to really make the Andrew Yang would show up. Like, what's he got to lose? You know.
And by the way, another scary proposition.
You would immediately be able to identify all the people who wouldn't be able to win by who shows up to the invitational debate beforehand.
But again, the problem, it looks like our new front runners coming out of the debates last night, Andrew Yang, Williamson, jumping to 40% each. Joe Biden down to an abysmal 2%. It's crazy.
America has decided that they are crazy for Yang after watching him floss flawlessly during the invitational debate held right before the real debate.
Oh my God. No,
I mean, like, because, like, so we passed by the first part because we immediately started making fun of all the candidates. But they had the when they were deciding the lineups for this, they had like an NBA draft lottery style thing where they were just like watching the ping pong balls go through, and they're just like, I wonder who's going to make this debate. Amy Klobuchar in the first debate. Oh my God, everyone on the panel. Let's hear about like, Amy Klobuchar. Oh, Amy Klobuchar. But like the sportsification of this would be like prior to the All-Star game, you have like the NBA dunk contest or the 3-point shooting, or like they used to have the 2-ball thing with like the WNBA players too.
Sure, yeah.
That game they were trying to get going, 2-ball, I think.
I have no idea what that is.
Anywho, but this would be like the dunk contest version of the debate, like where you just have
alternatively, dunk contest. Now we'd have to lower the rim a little bit.
Have to be like a 6-foot rim.
I'd like to see Bernie even try to dunk on a 6-foot rim.
Beto literally doesn't even have to jump; he just sort of throws. Oh, boom!
He's like Michael Jordan. He's like slamming on Bernie. Oh, it'd be great. It'd be amazing. Yeah.
Beto would be the type of person who would actually get the footage like in slow-mo with the like, I believe I can play. Beto, don't play the R. Kelly, please, with the love of God. Keep it out of your rotation. Something happened? Something happened to Robert?
I've been out of the loop recently.
Oh, Beto, you're so far out of the news.
Although, to be fair, it might be Joe Biden who does that, and he's just like, I am unashamed of my support of Robert.
Has he thought about changing his name? Maybe he could be Beto Kelly. And everything would become better.
All right, so one last alternative.
Yeah.
Blood sport. Let's just put them all in.
Gladiators.
20 go in, 10 come out. Those 10 get to go to the debate.
Bear with me. 20 candidates, 1 line.
Oh, and here's the surprising factor. At the end of the night, the camera slowly rises on a bloodied and cut Bernie Sanders as he drops his spear to the ground and roars out to the crowd, and they cheer him. And Donald Trump pees his pants in the White House. Like, who is this guy?
Bernie rips his shirt open.
Just cut underneath the
like
shirt.
Like fucking Ned Flanders. Like, fucking pulls the shirt up and he's like, there can be only one Islander.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. All right, that's the solution right there.
We fixed the debate. We don't learn anything about the candidates, but we weren't going to anyway. So
it doesn't matter, yes.
We might as well have some fun.
Alternatively, I know people who can do amazing things with Premiere. I would love to see the video of this, no matter how it shakes out. If you could just do Bernie Sanders bloodied coming out of the Coliseum, ripping his shirt open to a cut Ned Flanders chest, it would be amazing, and I would love to see it. So get on that. I think actually Bernie would love to see it too.
Bernie walks out of the arena all bloody and ripped, and he's just like, "We're gonna need universal health care for at least 19 people."
Well, to be fair, some of them are senators and already have universal health care. So
poor Andrew Yang just going like, "Someone take me to urgent care. I don't have insurance."
Take me home. I got some alcohol and some bandages. I'll be fine. No, don't call the ambulance. I can't afford it. I have student loans.
It's $25,000 that they call the ambulance. Don't you fucking dare. Bernie, you call that ambulance. That's on you, buddy. You're paying for it.
Oh, new bill idea from Andrew Yang. If you call the ambulance, you got to pay for it. That's how that works. I said no.
How sure are you I'm dying? That's how sure you should be of calling the ambulance, all right? Well, I think we solved a lot here.
There we go, yeah. So keep an eye out for those debates.
I was worried this conversation was going to be a shit show, but actually, I'm pretty happy with where we...
Speaking of shit shows, Trump had a rally this week. I'm sure that went super well. And last week, he lost his shit and ranted on Twitter at 4 congresswomen, including... 1 refugee and 3 American-born congresswomen, and he told them to go back to their countries.
Yeah,
and
as discussed last week.
And by the way, one other thing I pulled out of that is not only did he tell them to go back to their countries, but later that was followed up by his I think Kellyanne or someone saying maybe they should have stayed and fixed their country, which is ironic because 3 of them were born here, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah. So, funny enough. Anyway, he had a rally this week, and at the rally, a chant began, send her back or send them back? Send her back.
Send them back, I think, actually.
Send them back. Yeah. And that wasn't accepted very well by the mainstream media, the fake news.
No, I don't think that was accepted by anyone very well.
Oh, yeah, well, Congress as well.
I love. How much would you love to have like a job where you don't ever have to talk about all the shit you don't want to talk about? Like we have a podcast. Like, say I was like in the news, like I was in Variety for like I don't know, killing a prostitute or something like that, right? And then we have the podcast.
I killed that story. It's fine.
And then we have the podcast the next week, and everyone's just like, I wonder if he's going to talk about it. And it's just like, no, I'm not talking about it. Never going to have to talk about it.
Nope.
Like, Jesus Christ. This is the sad end of our presidency. I made the thing like this is the moment in your childhood where you lose your innocence.
Oh yeah.
Like,
the parents.
Yeah, we're definitely at the point in the presidency where it doesn't like we've lost any semblance of like we have to respect this office above all else, no matter who's in it, and blah blah blah. Because it's just a joke. Like, and I was talking to somebody about this recently where I was like, well, we were talking about because the women's national team had just won the World Cup and like they weren't going to go to the White House, and I was like, even if you were like a democratic institution like the U.S. women's national team. Like you are, even if it was Bush, like you'd go to the White House.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
You wouldn't. You might have some little thing to say about like, oh, I don't appreciate the man, but I appreciate the office.
Respect the office.
Yeah. If the president invites you to the White House, then you have to go. But now, like, that's all out the window because nobody fucking respects Trump, and you don't want to. Even going to the White House seems like encouraging this behavior in some sort of way. So
I don't want to give him any good press. He doesn't get the good press of me being there.
And I mean, honestly, like, Rob's spoken of his hatred of John McCain in the past, but we both agree on this one. There was the moment in the debate where some woman was just like, "I'm scared of Obama. I'm scared he's a Muslim." Like, McCain, to his great credit, like. Stopped her right there. And he's just like, whoa, ma'am. We disagree. We have different political ideologies, but he is a good person. Like he's not everything that the news says he is, and
he's not a Muslim.
He's not a Muslim. Yeah. He's a Christian. Like, and we just disagree. This is the only difference. Like, he's not an evil person.
Yeah,
and like that hurt John McCain with like Republicans for a while. Like there were some people who were just like, we want you to take Obama out. Like. That we want you to like go for the jugular and stuff like that. But McCain knew like this wasn't going to work out well if he just started going like I think he's a Muslim too, ma'am.
Well, you lose you lose the middle ground. You lose those these Republicans.
The never Trumpers.
Yeah, well, I mean, there weren't never Trumpers back then.
Well, they were what later became never Trumpers.
Yes. Yeah.
The idealistic center right, I guess, if you were. Yeah. The ones that are just like, oh man, I don't care for Paul Ryan, but he's trying to do things.
Yeah,
I can appreciate his efforts, but not how he carries himself.
Yeah, but those days are gone. Yeah. Those days are long gone.
Yeah, long gone.
Now we have a guy who will sit in front of the press and say, "Listen, when that chant started, I tried to calm it down.
I did everything I could to stop it.
Even though there is film of him basking in the glow of the chant."
There are WWE wrestlers who do less when the crowd starts chanting than he did.
Now that you say that, he looked a lot like The Rock, where The Rock's like,
yeah, he's like so. Everyone's just like rock.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like the moment right before he's like, and finally, The Rock has come back to Miami.
First
and the crowd goes wild.
Have you not watched wrestling? And finally, The Rock has come back. To Miami.
I was trying to save us a little time, but if you wanted to do it again,
the basking is in that moment.
Yeah.
It's that
true.
break.
It's very true. There is.
Yes. So, nonetheless, Trump basked in the cheers of racist as they said, "Send them back, send them back," and then rolled it back and said, "Oh, I didn't." And the Daily Show, to their credit, I'm not a huge fan of the Daily Show anymore. No Jon Stewart made a difference for me, but. They did a wonderful little tweet, hashtag thing where it was, what's longer than
13 seconds?
Longer than 13 seconds.
Yeah, because that's how long Trump basked in the crowd chanting.
And
by the way, Trump didn't look like at any point during this moment he was just like
there was no like
he wasn't like upset. It was like, come on, guys, don't fucking do that.
Yeah,
like when the he didn't ever have the look of like the Ravens when Joe Flacco got hurt and the crowd cheered.
Yeah.
Like the other players on the team are just like, come on, guys, this is fucked up. You're cheering somebody's injury just because you want the backup quarterback. That's really fucked up. Like Trump didn't look out of the crowd going like, I'm disappointed in all you. Like
I think he did
he's just like, oh, they seem to like it. What I said seems to have hit them in some sort of primal manner.
Yes. So anyway, I know that Congress has a hard time with this, less than the European leaders, but I feel confident in saying Trump is a racist, and he will do everything that he can to continue to operate the way that he's been operating. And somebody should probably do something about that. I know that Congress is now talking about censuring him. Certainly, they took a vote
just
on
goddamn impeach him already.
Yeah, see, by the way.
Just fucking do it. Like,
none of that means anything. Censuring doesn't mean anything. It means he can't come to Congress and speak.
I mean, so Mueller, for instance, could have been up here a lot quicker if you would have just said, we're opening up impeachment investigation into the president. Then all your subpoenas immediately get answered when they're tied to an impeachment process.
Funny how that works.
And I don't give a shit whether or not there's like a real like just drag people up there every 2 weeks and embarrass Trump for like
we accept that when your charges get to the Senate,
they're going to fail.
They will not succeed.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but I would like to just have people's names associated with the record of where they stood on this.
Yep.
Because then, if you're just like, say you're a middle of the road conservative in Maine, and you don't like Trump, and you think that Trump's a dangerous precedent and stuff like that,
right?
And Susan Collins votes no on impeaching Trump, then she has to go back to Maine and explain herself to that person who is probably now not going to vote for her. Who was like kind of on like, well, she's straddling a weird line. She's trying to do her best, but like, no, this is the opportunity to actually get the president out of office, and you didn't take it. And why? If he's so clearly unfit for office, why are you allowing him to stay? Oh, and then she has to defend her vote on that.
How about this? Call Susan Collins. Call Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
Be like, you've been in the room with him when some discussions have happened. Have you found him to be in possession of all his faculties?
Yeah.
Like, you have made statements before about his behavior, especially, by the way, Lindsey Graham, who called him like a race-baiting xenophobe at some point. Like, call Lindsey Graham.
How the turns have tabled.
Yeah. Call them in there, make them testify, and then when they go to the Senate and they vote no, be like, you now have to go home and run and say, I testified to this, that it was truthful. I then voted no, and now I have to come explain to you why are those two things in the way.
And, I mean, like, this is a popular thing to do in criminal charges. More of this to be discussed later.
Yeah.
But the idea of stacking charges is a wonderful idea as well, because there's evidence that Trump improperly used campaign funds during running for office, both in the primary and the general election. Mm-hmm. There seems to be impropriety with his.
Whoops! Sorry, guys.
There seems to be impropriety with the inauguration fund.
Yes.
And how much money seemed to go into that thing, and how much money was spent on it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talk about the various different ways where he's profiting from being president and having properties that people visit and like spend a lot of money at to show good favor for the Trump presidency and things like this.
Strange.
But these are all things that could be examined within the scope of an impeachment, and maybe you just find out that like, they raised so much money for the inauguration and they started just giving out $1,000 checks to, Trump family members.
Maybe,
There's no, nobody's
Don
bothered
Jr.
to look into this.
Don Jr. got an appearance fee for the inauguration of his father.
He got a $50,000 appearance fee at the.
That's strange. Wait, the president got an appearance fee for his inauguration?
He's supposed to be there.
He's the only one who needs. I'm sorry, man, Chief Justice as well, I guess. Yeah. But he's the only one. You could do it
with two people.
Yeah. What are we doing?
You don't
here,
even necessarily need the Chief Justice. I mean, like,
to be fair, he just give him a speech and then go meet the Chief Justice later. When Obama botched his speech,
anybody who can hold the Bible for you is good enough. I mean,
when Obama botched his speech, they actually went back to the White House, did it again with the Chief Justice. So not the speech. He botched the oath of office.
Yeah.
They went back and did it again just to make sure it was good to go. But anyway, we could talk all day about Trump and how dumb he is. Oh, Kate has joined the podcast. Kate says, "Hey guys,
hi Kate.
Thanks for joining us. we are running short on time. We're a little long already. I want to make sure that we get down to the Baltimore corner. So are you ready to take a little stroll?
Yeah.
On down to the Baltimore corner.
Where you get the straight dope?
All right.
I was like when there's silence and you can hear Rob hitting off the vape.
Yes. So there's really only one story for me. Now, I know that we have two things on the agenda, but there's one story for me coming out of Baltimore. And that, of course, is the Keith Davis trial number 4, I believe, maybe 5.
4.
Is it 4? No, well, so he had the trial about the other thing. This is the 4th murder trial. But he beat the rap on the armed robbery trial. That was the first trial. And he beat everything except for being in possession of a handgun. Or felon in possession of a handgun.
Yeah.
Even though the jury gave him an acquittal on everything, including owning a handgun, shooting a handgun, having a handgun.
Yeah.
Like everything except for a felon in possession of a handgun, which is very strange. But nonetheless, now he's on trial for murder.
Talk about stacking the charges. That's just another example of that.
There you go. Now, murder trial 4 is underway in Baltimore. And we are finding out that, Corey, I don't know if you're surprised about this. Baltimore cops, a little corrupt.
What?
Yes. Who would have thought? Who would have
No,
thought?
not my Baltimore Police Department.
Strange. So it turns out most of the time of these first 4 days of the trial, 5 days of the trial, have been spent on motions because the defense is basically addressing all of the evidentiary problems that have occurred, all the witness statements that have been inconsistent. And every time there's a witness, they have to basically release the jury back to the jury room so that they can argue about. So this is the 4th time this person's appeared. They've given 3 statements that have all been inconsistent with each other, and we think that they shouldn't be allowed to testify because who knows? We have no idea what they're going to say.
Or this person wasn't available for the first 3 trials and just suddenly became available now because of a Brady violation.
Yes.
So
strange. Or we never mentioned this person at all, and we don't want them to testify, and one of your witnesses just brought their name up. So people in the community researched, found the person, and we went and interviewed them, and this is what they're going to say. So it is a shit show right now.
Yeah.
And I just have to, so if you're not listening, you should be listening to the Undisclosed podcast. This current series is on Keith Davis. There's an earlier 5 or 6 episode section about the history of the trial. Now they're doing the trial right now. Please go listen to it. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I just have to say, like, what is Marilyn Mosby thinking right now?
I think that she almost got her hide handed to her when she tried to charge the cops on the Freddie Gray thing.
Right, yeah.
A trial that if she would have been serious about, she could have probably not necessarily won, but have done a better job of portraying the police. Like, I feel like if the Mosby prosecution was as good as the undisclosed version of the Freddie Gray story, then we could have been walking out of that whole endeavor going like, wow, those cops just got away with something. Like,
even if they do
even
get
if
off.
they did get off,
Yes.
you could just be like, wow. I don't know if any one of them is guilty enough to go to jail, but this whole fucking organization is guilty of something.
Now, and here's the better version. Instead of being so hard, give somebody a fucking deal to get them to talk.
Yeah.
Because when she just said...
Give Caesar Goodson like a get out of jail free card.
When she says there's going to be no deals, everyone's going to trial, then it's like, okay, so we're all just going to be blue lining it up over here, right?
Yeah.
So cool. Good. But if you tell Caesar Goodson, like, man, you are looking at, I don't know, what, 15, 20 years? But I might knock that down to no time if you're willing to testify about what you know.
Yeah.
And you have something good. Great. Okay. And now we at least get 2 or 3 of them on something.
Yeah.
And you get the chance to prove how.
Well, it's also amazing how long it took to bring down GTTF people.
Yeah.
Like when there were obvious like concerns about what was going on for months prior to any kind of charges being brought. Like people in the streets knew what was going on with those people and just nobody wanted to believe it. And then that's the thing that's like amazing to me. Like, so, Mosby decides to prosecute the Freddie Gray 6, which is gives her instant spotlight, but it also puts a target on her back. Mm-hmm. And it seems that with Keith Davis happening pretty much immediately after the whole thing, like after Freddie Gray had sort of calmed down a bit and like things went back to normal, if you will, that was air quotes normal.
Mm-hmm. Normal for Baltimore.
Yeah. there seemed to be we shot this guy and you're gonna defend us, or else we're going to make your life miserable. And she was just like, I can't charge the cops twice. I can't be on this side twice. I have to take one for the team here and defend this charge.
Yeah.
And going at it 4 times, I think mostly because, like, honestly, I think a lot of this trial is Marilyn Mosby's fucking sick of Kelly Davis, like, keeping being real annoying.
Yeah, Kelly Davis,
and that's totally her right. She should be annoying. She is
good.
wonderful at doing it, and that's exactly what's needed at this moment.
Yes.
But I also think that Marilyn Mosby is just like, this fucking bitch is gonna come at me again.
She literally shows up wherever Marilyn Mosby is and just like screams like, "Do you have any statement on Keith Davis Jr.?" and just ruins all her events, which is amazing. And Kelly should be applauded for that. So, and like. Wednesday, the group that meets every Wednesday is out there. She's working with them, and they've been meeting for like 400 consecutive Wednesdays, which is a damn lot.
It's like the West Wednesdays.
West Wednesdays, yeah. So, man, there's anyway. We're now in week 1. They're saying it's probably going to go 3 weeks. The state has not had a good time through this first week because it's just basically been like on its heels of like, all right, so we're going to put on this witness. This is what he's going to say. Oh, nope. Motion to suppress that. Yeah. And now let's argue about whether the witness can even testify. And, oh, by the way, your guy testified to this yesterday. He said a name and we didn't recognize it. So then we did research overnight. We actually contacted him this morning. Trial starts at 10. I just rolled in from Roland Park where I interviewed that guy. And here's what he had to say. And this is why this guy should not be allowed to continue testifying because he actually isn't the person who did anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, so today's not going to go exactly how I planned.
Well, and
cool.
Here's the other thing. Like, almost any trial that, like, actually gets played out, like, you know, not like parking tickets and stuff like that, but like real trials are won or lost in pretrial motions.
Usually, yeah.
So this is where the most important things are going to come in because we're going to find out what's going to be allowed, what's going to be able to be talked about,
that was already done,
being suppressed, and
that was already done. The problem is pretrial's done. The trial is underway. The problem is they are uncovering new evidence during the trial, and now it's like, hey, so we didn't bring this up before the trial because they hid it. Yeah. So what are we going to do about this?
We found it in a middle envelope signed Brady violations.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, again, listen to the Undisclosed podcast. They do a great job of explaining what a Brady violation is. But essentially, if the state doesn't give you something, they should not be able to use it or anything that they discovered because of it down the road. And oftentimes it leads to mistrials, which then lead to non-trials. Because they're like, all right, so mistrial, now how are we going to get around not using this next time? Yeah. And we can't. So,
well, the one in this episode, the most recent episode of Undisclosed here, where they were talking about the video of the guy. Did you get to that point yet?
That's exactly where I am. Yeah. But it's okay. You can spoil it a little bit for me. There's a video coming from a store or something right there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, like, the police said they looked to see if there was any video of the moment that, what was the name of the security guard? Kevin Jones. Yep. Part of the Keith Davis Jr. case is this earlier murder of Kevin Jones, Pimlico security.
Well, no, that's
officer.
what he's on trial for right now. Yeah.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying like when he was initially arrested, it was because of the armed robbery and the chasing him into the garage and shooting at him
many times. Yes.
But then they added on after the fact charges of the murder of Kevin Jones. And the police along the entire time had been saying, there's no video. There's plenty of security cameras around, but one of them was like pointing at a tree, and I saw it, and there's nothing to see there, so we didn't even bother to provide it. And then you find out that there is a video that the police had seen where it shows somebody who is following Kevin Jones and like putting on a ski mask, even though you couldn't tell who it was, but you could kind of tell it's not Keith Davis Jr. Like you could see enough that it wasn't like, just like you wouldn't confuse me with like Richard Simmons, for instance.
Right.
Like if I was on trial for murder and you saw somebody that looked like Richard Simmons, like walking towards camera, you'd be like, that doesn't look like Corey.
I don't think it is. Yeah. By the way, in the armed robbery trial, the guy, the one that Keith beat all of the charges, the guy said, or the state asked him, is that person in the courtroom today? And he was like, yeah, no, he's not here. And you're just like, he's not the man sitting at defense table right next to that attorney. And he's like, I don't have my glasses with me right now, but I don't. And they're like, can we
To be
get your
honest,
glasses for you?
I can't see very well without my glasses. It's just like, all right, here's your glasses. It's like, I was also drunk that morning.
He literally got up, walked over to the defense table, and got like this close to Keith Davis and was just like, "No, that's not him. The guy had longer hair and his skin was much darker than this gentleman." And then the ski mask guy, darker skin, dreadlocks. So now they're saying that these two crimes may in fact be connected.
But just not Keith Davis.
Not Keith Davis Jr., who the police chased and shot, and now we're looking to pin something on so that he could have a reason to be shot. They found a gun on top of the fridge, which at the time when they said the last shots were fired, someone already has testified to the fact that they could see in the garage and see him laying on the ground in pain, and they told him to get rid of the gun. So that means that he, after being shot,
hurled it up onto the fridge.
No, because it was placed exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah.
So he stood up, hobbled over to the fridge, put the gun down.
Despite nearly being dead.
Yes, hobbled back and laid back down. And then they found it. Or, alternatively, maybe a Baltimore police officer reached into his back pocket, wrapped a handkerchief around a gun that he already had.
Wait a minute, that doesn't sound like the Baltimore. Oh, wait a minute, it is the Baltimore police.
Actually, is everything that they do. So yeah, so that's horrible. And I'm going to be following this trial for the next few weeks. You all should be following it as well, because I hope that you all don't learn what I learned long ago, that the system is broken and that there's a chance that he is about to go to jail for a crime that he clearly did not commit, because there is a jury there, and juries are fickle. So I guess we'll see. And I do want to touch on the last topic just quickly, because maybe this will change, because the new commissioner, Commissioner Harrison,
Michael Harrison
has announced that he now has a 5-year crime reduction plan that will be tied to a 5-year police reform plan. Jane Miller, who's been a long-time reporter in Baltimore, tweeted out that she has never in her time there known a police commissioner to put out a reform plan and a crime plan at the same time, or really at all. The mayor will occasionally put out those kind of plans, but we're not going to get that from Jack Young and his...
Jack Young said he's thinking about maybe running for mayor.
Well, surprise. Turns
out he kind of likes the job. Like, maybe I could do this full time.
We hear that from a lot of people, don't we?
Nobody seems to be getting on my case about my book sale, so why can't I be mayor?
Yeah. So, nonetheless, the plan is not coming from him. It's coming from the commissioner. And I know that we had talked about this on our previous show, and we talked about in the pre-show meeting about, like, listen, like, let's give him some time and let's see what he comes up with. It didn't seem like he was doing much, but then all of a sudden it's like dick on the table. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know if we're at a dick on the table moment here with him.
I mean, but
he's doing something, which is nice.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because it you want him to just do something right away. You wanted to have him to have like a plan going in, but it seems like he wanted to sort of like see how things operated before he started to get into the specifics and stuff like that, which is fine. It's one of those things, like, I find myself saying this a lot with people who I'm not quite sure about, which is like, well, we gotta just give them a chance. We gotta like not criticize them all the time and just let them sort of do what they want to do, and then we'll find out whether or not they're made of it.
Yeah.
After the fact, like, and that's sort of where we're at with Harrison, like, where I feel like we have to, like, he seems to be an adult who came into this job with like ideals, but he hadn't put together a specific plan, and we had to wait for him to figure it out. And now he seems to have done it, so let's see how it works. I mean, like, that's basically...
And that's all we can do, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no point in, like, criticizing him right now without knowing any of the details of the plan. But, this is the type of thing, like, where you just have to wait a little while and find out whether or not... The same thing happened when Pugh took office.
Yeah.
Me and you both said, like, I don't know if I necessarily trust her to do this great job with the city.
Turns out we were right,
but we have to give her a chance. We have to like give her some time where we're not criticizing her to see how she does, and then she immediately made us all look like idiots. So
I will say though, a plan is a good first step, because it seems like nobody in Baltimore really plans anything out. So, hey, good first step.
I think the city motto in Baltimore is, we'll just wing it.
It'll be fine. Sure. Yeah. I honestly, that might That might be our motto too. Sometimes we just jump right in here and talk about the Democratic candidates and being in a Coliseum for an hour. So.
Oh, the anthem. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Yes.
Well, speaking of doing it live, you know where else you can find live content that's later repackaged for view.
Not live.
Not live.
Where's that?
OTheAnthem.com, OTheAnthem.com, with the Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the listener line, 443-219-7595.
What's that number again?
443-219-7595. That was an example of me just flying off the seat of my pants and just making up things as I was going along.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we do.
More of that can be found at CoreyBakerFilmmaker.com. The reviews are available on YouTube, Facebook.com/CoreyBakerFilm, at LegendCB5 on Twitter, Instagram. This is going all over the place. I did record a review for yesterday. I just haven't had a chance to edit it and release it yet, but I think that will come Monday, followed by the Alamo Drafthouse, Lion King.
That was my Simba roar. My baby Simba roar.
I'm surprised they didn't cast you in this thing.
I know, right?
Fuck Donald Glover, am I right?
Yeah, right.
So yesterday review and Lion King review coming up in the next 2 reviews. So check them out.
I completely forgot that we saw yesterday already. Not that it's a forgettable movie, because it's a good movie, but it's been a bit of a week. So.
I love Lily James. That's all I'm gonna. That's the one thing we can take from that movie.
Yeah. So check out the review to hear Corey gush about Lily James for a while. Of course, you can find all of my stuff at Robert N. Cheek on all your social media. You can check out robertncheek.com, where you can find links to my political blog, the news website, and the books, which are available on Amazon.
Byron's books.
And September coming up fast. Got to get that writing done. Got a lot of stuff done. All right, hey, ambitious goal for 4 books in a year. We've hit first quarter, second quarter. Now we're aiming for third quarter. It's ambitious. I'm supposed to have a new one out at the end of the year. I've not yet started, so should probably get on that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway.
All right, well, see how it goes.
Sure.
Anyway, I think we've done good here
We'll
today.
Anyway, go ahead. Yes.
I think we've done good here today.
We've done something. I don't know if it's good. But as always, you're listening to the O The Anthem podcast, part of the O The Anthem digital network. For Corey, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
Next you'll see me, I'll have a dry tan from my Phoenix adventures.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, also for his red carpet experience, you can't really tell because he hasn't styled it, but haircut from Corey. Look at that. It looks just as wild, but without the headphones, it's not. The headphones aren't controlling it. It's just
there ain't no product in it right now. So it's a little curled.
So everybody give him a little encouragement so that he keeps it looking like an adult and not like the teenager that it usually looks like.
I'm going to grow it out till it's 8 feet tall. Wow.